So we have a lot of areas to go in your career, but
Okay.
some of the personal stuff is really moving. And the one thing I haven't got an update. I want you to tell us here today is if you ever did manage to get your hands under Mike Webster's butt again. Oh, we're rolling. Good evening and welcome to Talking in Circles. I'm Clint Black, and tonight I am talking in circles with a true legend, a NFL Hall of Famer, a star of stage and screen, the one and only original TB, Terry Bradshaw. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
This is a real treat. Everybody loves Terry Bradshaw. You have entertained us for so many years. The 1979 playoff game accepted.
I apologize.
Thank you.
What he's referencing is that we played the Houston Oilers in Pittsburgh in the AFC Championship game.
In a blizzard.
And Renfro,
Yeah.
Mike Renfro,
Yeah.
made a great catch in the corner. But back then, in the 70s, you didn't have,
Instant replay.
14 tape machines,
Yeah.
26 cameras. You had one tape machine, 4 cameras. So you don't have, and you didn't have high def, where you could zoom in on it.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, he touched it right. Yeah, there it is right there. And you go, dumbest thing I ever seen when they went to instant replay. Everything is like, you got to have the perfect game.
Everybody in Houston believed we should have it after that. Well, we were just
hold it. Let me stop you
waiting.
right there, though. Just because if you had had the touchdown in your favor, you still were behind. It didn't matter.
Oh, it mattered.
No, it didn't. All you would have done is angried us. So you were an Oiler fan.
Well, yeah, we thought we had a shot there for
You
a
had
little
a
while.
shot.
Yeah. Growing up in Houston, you guys were such a force that we just hated you, and that was the thing, right? I had no idea because, it wasn't until you guys really came on that you realize, oh, there's somebody to hate, before the end. It was like,
Well, you know what? You know what happens? The Oilers were really good. They were hard to beat, especially in Houston. And I didn't like playing them because they were like us, very physical. And I don't know if I ever had a really good game against them. May have won a bunch of them, but they were so hard to beat. So when you got through, you just beat up, But they just came along, at the wrong time,
Yeah.
Happens.
Looking at how you turned things around, I know it didn't come right away. Now,
Right.
looking back, I went
Right.
back and checked all that out as I was digging into Terry Bradshaw. We had no idea the struggle to get to be that
Wasn't easy.
championship team. It was the frustrations you had on all that stuff. We couldn't know that in Houston, or we might not have hated you as much. You guys became such a force. 4 Super Bowl wins in 6 years.
Those are good accomplishments.
Yeah,
seriously.
but you still didn't feel, is that right? You just still didn't feel that, really the love of the town, the whole...
Well, my relationship with Pittsburgh it wasn't so much with the fans. It was with the head coach. There's some of you that really respond well to get up and get out and get in the kick in the butt. And then some of you respond to, sweetie, no, you're the best.
Yeah.
I love you here. And I was the sweetie guy. I did not take kindly to the beating up mentally. And, so much of my stuff was behind closed doors with Chuck Noll. I didn't take kindly to that being bench pulled out, not defending me, not helping me with the press. Because I went to a small school, Louisiana Tech, maybe did one interview a year to the media, and that's it. It's a small school. So I had to socially grow up Emotionally, I had to mature. Physically, I did already. It was hard. It was hard for me. There's a part of me, even today, Clint, that if I'm brutally honest with myself, I would say, because I read what people say about me. Well, if there's people say he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Well, you know what? Take me out.
Nobody says that.
Yeah, they do.
Nobody.
Yes, they do.
Nobody that matters.
Yes, they do. And, I would say, I didn't play the game to throw for 100,000 yards. I played to win championships. And that's what I was paid to do. So there's a part of me that wishes I'd have thrown for 400 or 500 touchdown passes and 50,000 yards, and then still had the Super Bowls to go along with it, instead of, well, he this and he that. And you just get tired of it, because we live in such a now generation with cell phones, social media, for example, and all we care about is what's going on today with, no disrespect, Tom Brady and all these guys that have thrown for hundreds of thousands of yards and wins all these Super Bowls. And then the other guys, you just go touchdown passes, and I'm just like, wow. So I didn't know I should have thrown for 50,000. You don't want to complain, because I got nothing to complain about. But every now and then I get a little ticked off. I say, well, let them play in the 70s when it was bump and run, where you could hit a quarterback with your forearm upside his head and get away with it. No big deal, part of the game. Let them play back then, or give me the West Coast offense. Let me run that offense. So there's a ego-wise, there's a side of me that says, I want that. Then finally, at the age of 74, you just go, what the hell, man? I mean, you did your job, and you going about your life. I've got a great wife, a beautiful ranch. I worked for Fox for 29 years. I got nothing to complain about. Thank you.
Well, it's hard to see ourselves through other people's eyes.
True.
But those people, those antagonists, they're just so insignificant when it comes down to it.
You're so right.
Yeah.
They absolutely don't matter.
Even being from Houston, I love you. I have watched you for years.
There's a lot about me to love. I'm a nice guy.
You entertained us on the field, and then you entertained us even more off the field. All these 29 years, all these TV appearances, and Hooper, and I mean all the TV shows. And
you did your work.
Smokey and the Bandit 2, and all of this stuff. You have shown that you're willing to do whatever it takes to amuse, to make somebody laugh.
To entertain them.
To entertain people. You really were, and you were that on the field, and they didn't get it, right?
Well, I wasn't cracking jokes.
Well,
I wasn't in the huddle going, "Hey, did I tell you boys about the dogs the other day? The two dogs." No, it wasn't like that.
No, but the player you went beyond being a quarterback, and you were entertaining. I mean, that's what, when I look back over all this stuff of you, you were an entertainer to me. I saw that if you could do it all over again, you said you would become a country star.
I would. It's not so much the star part.
Singing.
But I love to sing. And you hear him laugh? I don't know who did that, but get up and leave right now. As a youngster, I grew up on gospel music. The Statesman Quartet was my favorite, Jake Hess. And I always wanted to be a singer. And all my life I've sung. And never took it serious, because football was my love and my passion. But just like anything else, you get past that, or you can't do it anymore. But see, the great thing about singing and performing, you can do it till you die on stage, basically.
Till you die on stage.
And who hasn't died on stage? It's just something about, as a performer, whether it's quarterback or singing, walking out on the stadium or running out or walking out on the stage, it's just so gratifying. And I mean, I still sing. I still do shows occasionally and absolutely love it.
For me, it was that thing that I have to do. I
Yeah.
have to do this. And if I end up only making it to, playing in bars, which I was doing at the time, then that's my life.
My daughter, the oldest, Rachel, went to Belmont here and music business, wrote her first hit song while she was a junior, What Do You Want, with Jared Neiman.
Neiman.
And then she started singing. She didn't like the clubs. She wanted to go Belmont, stadiums. And and the whole thing about country music, or any music basically, is you earn your stripes. You set out on your journey and you learn your craft. You perfect your craft. And I never could quite get that through to her, but she sang on the Opry 3 weeks ago, and she's phenomenal. And she just can sit down. She's like you, Clint. You sit down, you write these songs every day, and you write the music, and they're hit songs. And I'm sitting over here as a football player, and I'm like, how do you do that? Where does that come from? Because every time I sit down to write a song or try to write a song, they all sound the same. And I can't play the guitar either, so that has a lot to do with it. But music is just so gratifying, so fulfilling. Television, you get no gratification at all. You're looking at a camera, and you turn to the camera with the red dot, and you talk to the red dot, which is you. And it's a piece of equipment. And then the show's over, and so we turn. Nice show, guys. Nice show, Terry. Good job, Howie. Hey, Frank, good show. And we walk. That's it. We get nothing. But when you walk out on stage, or when you're in a football game, whoa, you get the roar of the crowd. Or if you're singing and you walk out, so many people are just, when you walk out, Clint, they're looking, oh my God, Clint Black. There he is. And they don't even hear you sing for a while because they're in such awe. And
Yes, that's what I imagine is happening.
I wish everybody in here could go out and stand on the Grand Ole Opry stage and just sing one song or sing one verse and just have the place go 2,500 people go crazy. My man.
Yeah, I try to tell people about the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
And how there's nothing like it.
Nothing.
First of all, they're the warmest, kindest, most generous audience anywhere. And it just doesn't matter who you are. They're glad you're there.
I passed it up for years. Passed it up, petrified. So insecure with singing. No, I'm not going to do that. Oh, come sing on the Opry. They'll love you. Nope. Years and you, nope. Not going to do it. Nope. Not going to embarrass myself. Nope, ain't going to happen. And then finally the Isaacs said, we'll back you. And I said, oh, man, I don't know about this. They said, no, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to get it out of your system. You got to do it. So I went out and I did it. And it was like, you go, holy cow.
Yeah.
Now you're mad because you could have been doing this for 20 or 25 years,
It's impossible to go through all of the things you've been in the TV show. You were on one of my favorite shows, Everybody Loves Raymond.
I did that. Hey, I've done shows with so many people. I've done shows with people that were stars now, but weren't stars then. I did all these kids shows. It's just fun to be in a position to do stuff like that.
It's great fun.
It's not like I'm going to win an Academy Award. I just like doing it.
It's fun. With the sitcoms, the Larry Sanders Show, we were both on that. And that's different because it's not in front of a live audience like Everybody Loves Raymond. And I did Hot Properties and Wings. And I told Lisa after I did one of those that I'll do anything short of prison time to do comedy again. Yeah. Because it's so much fun. You're laughing all the time.
When I did the movies with Burt Reynolds, it was the same way because he's such a great guy.
Yeah.
When I did Cannonball Run, I taught Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. and Jackie Chan how to play Boo-Ray.
Jackie Chan was hardly even known here at that time.
Exactly. It's my point, Clint. So I'm sitting there with Mel Tillis, and Mel's drinking Stroh's beer. He loves Stroh's beer. You ever heard of Stroh's beer?
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't. And he would have cases of Stroh's beer, and we'd shoot something, and they'd say, well, don't go back to your trailers, I'm going to do this. And we'd sit there, and we may sit there 4 or 5 hours. And after a while, I started bringing cards. And Jackie Chan and Dean Martin and Sammy Davis, they'd be off to the side, and I'd go over and I taught them how to play Boo-Ray. And they loved it. So we'd play Boo-Ray all the time. I did this show called The Stalkers. And Ernest Borgnine was in Birmingham, Alabama, and I was there for a golf tournament. And he came up to me and he said, hey, I hear you've got a pilot coming out tonight on NBC. I said, I do. Yeah, you're right. Hey, what's it called? Stalkers. He said, hey, my wife's here. Can we come to your room and watch it with you? Yeah, it's Academy Award winner. Well, sure. Yeah, I'm in room such and such. Show comes on at 8 o'clock. So they come there, and then, so I asked for, do you want anything? No, it's 30-minute pilot. The pilot comes on, Clint. To say that Mel Tillis and I are the worst 2 actors is a major understatement. This thing was so bad. The music, how can you have bad music? If you've got a bad movie or something, at least have good music. The acting was worse. Mel and I, God bless us, we love each other.
Bless your heart.
Yes, but it was horrible. Now I got Ernest Borgnine and his beautiful wife sitting there watching this pathetic piece of junk. Produced by Johnny Carson Productions. Directed by Hal Needham. I mean, loaded cast. I mean, I'm going to leave football, and I'm going to Hollywood, and I'm going to be a star doing movies, and it's just great. When that came out, I'm begging to go back to training camp. It's the worst. Ernest Borgnine, bless his heart, he says, wow, you can really see the chemistry between you and Mel. I said, thank you. Yeah, okay. And pretty much all he said. They walk out. Well, before he walks out, phone rings. I pick the phone up. I hear on the other end of the line. And I go, it's Melvin. I'm letting him get his breath. He's trying to talk to me. And finally he goes, well, Hoss, it wasn't no Gone with the Wind. You know, 2 weeks before he died, I was talking to him, and he said, I got a script for us. We're going to make a comeback in the movie. 2 weeks before he died. He was doing the show. Remember Ralph Emery had the show. It wasn't Pop Goes Country, I don't think. Nashville Now. Yeah. So Ralph's off, and so Mel and I went fishing. I went fishing. He said there were no fish in the lake. So I went into the garage and found a rod and reel and a couple of baits, and I went out, and I'm catching fish every cast. So he's watching me, and he's, come, pick me up. I didn't go pick him up. I filled that boat full of fish. So go over there, and Judy, his wife, then with Judy. So he's going to have her clean them because he has to host the show that night. But he says, well, let's go get in the pool and cool off before we go. So we went and we hit the pool. The son of a gun come bailing off the edge of the pool and dove on me. Dang near knocked me out in the pool. I picked this little skinny butt up and I threw him into the side of the pool, split him wide open. God. Blood everywhere. Big old bubble of blood sitting up there. I went, oh my God, Mel.
We go in and Judy of horseplay.
Judy's trying to drain the blood. We're trying to patch it up. And he goes on there. He goes on that night with a big old blood bubble over.
Oh, my God.
I told him, hey, Bub, don't be jumping on me in the water. We had a lot of fun, Mel Tillis and I. He's a good man, really good man.
My face hurts, Terry.
I could tell Mel Tillis
Only
stories.
you can start a story with right before he died, and we end up
Yeah.
laughing. Were you fearless? When I
No.
talk to NFL players, I just think about the courage it takes.
Well, that's a different
Yeah.
story. I had courage playing, but I'm scared of heights. I'm scared of looking through glass on a floor. There's a lot of things. My wife, she scares me. I get scared. You can scare me. I will wee in my britches. You can scare me so bad. And she does it all the time.
I love it.
So there's a lot of things I'm scared of. A lot of things.
I do a lot of scaring around our house.
Oh, I don't like it. It's
I'll
not funny.
I'll hide in the closet for 10, 15
And wait
minutes
on
or
her?
whatever it takes to wait on my daughter. And,
Serious?
Oh, yeah.
What do you get out of that?
Joy.
I'm looking for one, and I'm the husband that says, honey, I'm on the road. She's home. I say, lock the doors. You know where your gun is and everything. And so So I worry about her. I come home. I go into the bedroom, and it's time for bed, and I walk into the bathroom. Timmy! I go out through the living room. Timmy! I'm walking all through. Now I'm going, She's trying to scare me. I look under the bed. I look everywhere. Now I'm getting nervous. I don't know what's happened. And all of a sudden, right in front of the bed, there's a little thing where you put blankets. Boom!
I love it. I love it. All right, Terry, you owe me an answer. Did you ever get your hands under Mike Webster's butt or what?
He was my center, for those of you who don't know who he was. Great center. Made All-Pro every year. And when I went into the Hall of Fame in 1989, and the fun thing about it, I can't write. I don't have the patience to sit down and write a letter. I give corporate talks, but I create it in my mind and maintain the thought. And I create that way. I create on the fly while I'm performing, and I retain it. So I'm writing this speech for the Hall of Fame. And I told this guy, I didn't hire him, but he's a good friend. He's a journalist, great writer. And I said, buddy, I got 10 minutes to speak. I don't want to go 10 minutes. This is boring. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, plenty. Because you can think everybody you need to think and be done in 3 minutes, really. But I said, what I want you to do is give me 5 big words. I want 5 big words. I want to be talking and then throw the big word in there. Because my reputation was to not be very smart as a player. So I wanted to throw a big word in every 4 paragraphs, a big word. And he started laughing. He said, okay. So we wrote together, and then he came back with the big words. And I said, oh, this is great. This is great. So the night before the Super Bowl, I got my speech ready, and all my friends piled into Canton. And so we started drinking beer. And then they started ordering pizza on the roof. And we drank beer till 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't need to drink any more beer. I've got to be at a breakfast at 6:30 to get in a parade and go to the stadium and give a speech. So when I got down to the bedroom, there's my speech sitting out. I just reached over and tore it up, threw it in the trash can. I said, I don't need that speech. So I'll go up, and I get introduced, and I stand up, and I thank just a handful of people. And then I said, what I wouldn't give one more time if I could put my hands on a Mike Webster's butt. And that was the
roar.
what do you call that as a songwriter? That was the catch. What do you call it? The hook. That's the hook. So that was the hook. So Mike Webster goes into the Hall of Fame, and he asked me to present him. So when I did, he bent over, and I took a snap. I took a snap from him. Yeah.
When you do your shows, aside from the singing, what do you do?
I tell stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell stories. I got some fun stories. I have fun with the audience.
Have fun stories?
I have fun stories. I do.
Tell the one about the jeans. Have you ever told that one in the show?
About the jeans?
Yeah.
I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about? Tammy?
Jeans.
What are these ones about the jeans?
I heard about the jeans.
That's okay. We can act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't really.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
But you're not
But
going
all
to
you're trying to do, hey, now you got me sweating.
We don't want you.
But all you're trying to do is get me in trouble.
No, not as far as you know. So you're a dad with 3 daughters. I have one daughter, and Lily is 21, and she has a boyfriend. And so
Is that the guy I met earlier?
That's the guy. It's the guy.
Hey, not much.
No. So you have this dilemma of needing to be nice, but you shouldn't be, right?
Well,
you shouldn't have to be welcoming them into your family where they don't belong. I mean, they're not supposed to be there.
The thing is, with 3 girls, they've gone through a lot of relationships. And then when they break up, because I don't know, they broke up with Bill. And I'll say to one of them, Lacey, Aaron, Rachel, whatever, so how's Bill? Dad, I'm so sick of him. He is, you're not going to believe, I want nothing to do with him. Now, you've been dating him 3 years. I don't care. I have nothing to do with him anymore. We are through. Oh, okay. What did you think about him, Dad? Are you through? You're not going back with him? No. And then I tell her what I thought about it. And it's never been good. No, because the dad sees right through these guys. Funny story. So my daughter, she's a sophomore, and this senior asked her out. Well, I don't know, but that's big. That's big.
Yeah.
And everybody's, oh, my God, Billy is taking Rachel out. Oh, my God. And Rachel's over at the house, and she's going upstairs. She's getting dressed, and she's saying, Billy's going to pick me up over here, Dad. Good. So I'm waiting on senior Billy to come, right? So I go and I put on some overalls, no shirt, no shoes, no socks. Billy rings the doorbell. You must be Billy. Clint, if this boy was 5'3", long, greasy hair, dirty old T-shirt, when he bent over, it reminded you to say no to crack. I mean, he had... Oh, just a wormy little... And I'm going, God, this is no good. So I said, she's still upstairs. I said, hey, Billy, do you like fish? Yes, sir. Well, come on back to my office. Let me show you my aquarium. So we walk all the way back to my office. When we get in my office, I shut the door. Huge aquarium. And that's fish there. Billy, let me ask you something, son. You're a senior, is that right? Yes, sir. Let me tell you, I know what you want, okay? Let me just explain something to you. Lay one hand on my daughter, all right? Let me tell you, Billy, what I'm going to do. I'm coming to your house because, son, I know where you live. I looked you up. And the first thing I'm going to do is drag your dad out of that house, and I'm going to beat the crap out of him. And when I'm through with your dad, I'm going to find you because you're going to be running. And then when I get through with you, you won't be dating her anymore. You understand me? Yes, sir. Okay, y'all have a good time. I mean,
This is what you write.
I knew I did not like this look.
Yeah.
So they go out 2 weeks later. Hey, babe, how you doing? Good, Dad. What did you say to Billy? I didn't say anything to Billy. Why? Well, he won't call me. He won't. I said, well, just move on, babe. Maybe he wasn't interested.
Yes. He had his interest curbed.
I took care of Billy.
That's the sort of thing they write into movies for the dad in the movie to say because it's so good.
It's so good.
I'm going to beat up your dad first.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he's obviously been raised wrong. So that's why I'm going to get his dad out. And then I'm going to get him. And then we're all going to be fine.
We'll all be fine,
We're all
except
gonna be
Billy
fine.
and his dad.
Yeah, but that's such a great story.
Yeah.
I love that
That
story.
you did that is just, you're a hero to all the other dads who wanted to say it, but were held back.
Well, if you'd have seen this thing, I just had to nip that in the bud right there. I couldn't let that go. Now, my two son-in-laws that I have are awesome. I love them to death. And they're great. One's an award-winning chef. The other one is a great trainer, horse trainer. And we just had our third grandchild's a girl named Jessie, cutest thing. So I got two really good ones. And the guy coming on board, his name is Chase. He's good. He's going to fit right in.
What's that wince you did, though?
Well, I like him. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
After going through your history, looking back, I was really moved by the induction, your speech at the Pittsburgh, is the Athletics Hall of Fame?
They brought me back because the city always thought that I didn't like it. That's never been the case. But they brought me back. I don't live there. I live in Texas, and I don't have any business in Pittsburgh, so I don't get there. Other guys do, but I work on television, so when the football season is going on, I'm in L.A. doing the shows. And so they brought me back and brought the girls and I out, and
It was special.
it was cool. Yeah.
It was special just for me because I'm wanting, I have this thing on stage where I'm so busy moving and getting the next thing and getting my next harmonica changed out and getting that guitar change over. And sometimes I'll say to the band later, I said, I think maybe we should drop this song and put something there. Well, what do you mean? The crowd loves that. I said, well, I don't hear a lot of reaction to that one. I don't know if we should. And they said, they'll tell me and straighten me out. And sometimes I feel like Beethoven up there that I can't always hear because I'm so distracted. Moving on.
If they're not applauding and everything, you're right. You ought to change that song out. Because my wife has me singing this song. It's so hard to sing when you walk along. And ever since the pandemic and all the country, what this country's going through, we need a lot of spiritual movement. You can't say Jesus or God and all that because you get in trouble anymore. But so she said, you need to sing this song. I said, sweetie, that is a hard song to sing. You can do it. You can do it. I don't think I can do that. So I put it off for a year. And then one day we're rehearsing, and she said, you got to do this. I put it on teleprompter, so you have to worry about the words. So I said, okay, let's try this song. So I sang it, and I went, wow, that really feels good. And it didn't matter to me if the crowd liked it or not. It fed my spirit. You know what I'm saying? So that night in the show, okay, and I gave a talk about the country and what we're going through, what we need, and it just feels good, And then I said, I want to sing this song. Listen to the words, kind of like a preacher. Listen to the words. And I sang this thing, the place goes crazy. And I close every show with it now. And I get more out of it than they do. But maybe that's my point to you. Maybe your band gets more out of it than you're getting out of it because you're waiting to hear the,
I'm not.
the hooting and hollering.
I know some things. I know this works. I know that this is a big hit and what all that. But other things that I'm not sure of, I just get insecure about. And if I'm moving to the next thing and getting ready for the next song to start, I don't always hear it. And so I kind of see what happened with you going back to Pittsburgh.
Right.
And it's like, okay, they made sure he heard it.
Oh, I heard it.
They made sure, and then
65,000 people.
And then halftime was even bigger and longer roar.
Yeah.
And then your speech, it was really great as somebody who loves the original TB to see that happen. We have just loved watching everything you do.
Thanks.
You're fantastic. And,
so are you.
Thanks.
I wouldn't have come up here if it wasn't for you. Because I dig you. I really love you. I love your music. And we're not home that often. But when we had the opportunity, I jumped all over it. So you kidding me?
You.
Clint Black?
Means a lot, more than you know.
Have you ever been told that you look like Roy Rogers when you smile?
The first guy to say that was the guy that shot my first album cover. He just kept laughing and pointing at me saying, Roy. And I finally had to ask him what it was about. So Roy Rogers and I recorded a song, made a video, were nominated, got to hang out. I interviewed him for magazine. I got to know him. And Dale told me herself, as they were getting advanced in age, that she was hoping Roy would die first. And I always thought, she's sweet. She sure shouldn't say stuff like that.
She's want to get rid of him so she can marry you?
Yeah. And so she said she was afraid if she went first, Roy might have her stuffed.
Oh. I drove right by his ranch in California. I had to give a speech in some place. I'm talking out in the middle of nowhere.
Victorville was in the middle of nowhere. That's where
it was just,
ranch was.
But it was nothing. And I drove right by it, and the guy who's driving me said, "That's Roy Rogers' place right there." And I went, golly, I want to go in there and see Trigger. And because I raised my wife and I, we raise quarter horses, and we have tons of Palominos, and we've won a lot of Palomino world titles. I even stand on awesome Palomino stallion. And you can tell kids today, boy, wasn't Roy Rogers something back in, and they were, kids today are missing out on, they have no clue. I just loved Roy Rogers.
Well, he was, he told me his life story, and they adopted a bunch of kids. He would go back up to Cincinnati, where he was from, and Dale would always say, "Don't you bring home another kid." And then he would come, and he said, and I would come back, and I'd always have another kid. And he said he would look at him there as he was leaving, and they're just little, and they were just in bad shape. And he just started crying. He said, "I couldn't leave him there."
That's a good man.
Yeah.
That's a good man, Roy Rogers.
We were in the elevator, and this guy pushed past, when the doors opened, pushed past this woman to get in. And we got in, and the doors closed, and it was good and quiet. Roy turned to her and said, "Chivalry's not dead, madam. It's just a little ill." Made sure that guy heard that. All right, we got to go.
Let's go. I'm just killing time.
I know it. Believe me, I know. I have one more question I've got to ask you. Okay. When you get to heaven,
right,
if you could sing a song with anyone who's already there, who would it be, and what song would you sing?
I would sing with Glenn Campbell. I love Glenn Campbell. I was listening to a gospel song, album the other day that Glenn did, and I swear you've got me. You know how it is, we try to name songs when you're put on the spot.
Yeah, always a blank.
But it was a song he was singing. I went, wow, so pretty. I don't know what it is.
He'll know.
He'll know. I grew up listening and idolizing Glenn Campbell, Merle Haggard.
Amazing talent.
Yeah, you were later.
Came up in 87. First record came out in 89.
That's when I went in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
89. Wow.
You belong there. And let's hope it's many, many years from now before you sing with Glenn again. As we love having some Terry Bradshaw around.
I hope I get invited back.
You're always welcome here.
I got nothing
I won't
Wednesday. Are
be
you
here.
filming
Thank you for being here, Terry.
Thanks.
This was
Thanks,
a
Clint.
real treat.
And a blast.
Thank you. Terry Bradshaw! And no one like you.
I turned 21 in prison, doing life without parole. No one could steer me right, but Mama tried. Mama tried to raise me better, but her fleeting eye denied. That leaves only me to blame, 'cause Mama tried. Thank you. Rum-tum.